Hello, welcome to the first ever historic episode of Ancient Elemental Wargrounds. I have an exciting show for you today, so let's just get started. Alright, so in the first segment, Terry Smith narrates basically the episode 0 that I had. So there are all these kind of ancient caveman paintings on the wall. Basically the intro to episode 0. And a recap of that is that the Celestials came down from the heavens, ruled the earth with an iron fist. The witches and the demons allied and drove out the Celestials. And then the demons turned on the witches and just killed millions of people. And the four heroes, the Elemental Lords, rose up against these demons and saved the world and sealed the power of the demons inside these crystals. So this segment, Terry Smith is narrating basically what I narrated last time. Right, so immediately after the narration, we see Evil Greedman, this guy over here. He's walking around some ruins with a flashlight. He's looking at some of the murals on the wall, and it's basically the ancient legend, like all of those drawings of the Celestials and the witches, and he's looking at the murals on the wall, and he's talking about the awakening. I can feel it coursing through my veins, the power of the demons. They're about to awaken, and I will be at the center of it all. And all of a sudden, there's an earthquake, the ruins, it's shaking a lot, and a wrestling ring rises from the ground, and we see this masked wrestler in the middle of the ring. And the evil green man looks at him and he says, "The ethereal being, guardian of the elemental warground. Finally, the power has awakened, and my plan will come to fruition." And he's doing this evil, villain laughter. And the ethereal being starts walking towards him and warns Evil Greedman, "Go away, mortal, or I shall deliver divine judgment. Divine judgment." "No! After coming this far, I can't." And he shines his flashlight on the ethereal being, goes to his sexy abs, and he aims a flashlight up onto his face, and you see his mask. And then Evil Greedman, he pushes a button on the flashlight, and all of a sudden electricity, like a force lightning, comes out of the flashlight and hits the ethereal being. And the ethereal being is he's in pain, and he falls to his knees. And as he's falling to his knees, a crystal falls down onto the ground. And Evil Greedman, he walks towards him, he bends down, he picks up the crystal, and he starts laughing. The ethereal being who's on the ground, he's in pain. Suddenly a crystal shard materializes in his hand, and he pounces at Evil Greedman and stabs him in the stomach. And so the crystal that Greedman is holding, it starts to glow, and he starts laughing and you see a shadow behind Evil Greedman, and the shadow is a demon, and it's about to devour the ethereal being. And then the screen blacks out, and you can hear ethereal being is ah. Alright, so back in the ring, Terry Smith, back in the actual wrestling ring, Terry Smith runs down the show. He says, "Welcome everyone to the historic, revolutionary, first ever episode of Ancient Elemental Wargrounds, or AEW. And boy, do we have an exciting show for you tonight. Tonight, history will be made as a pink mask takes on the blue dragon. Which of these mysterious masked warriors will come out on top? And later tonight, we will have a tag team match between two exciting and young teams. Tune in to see Jack Marvel and Andy Atlas as they take on Eric LaMonica and Jason Patterson. And in the main event tonight, we will have Alina taking on the Lord of the Ocean, Frankie Flowwater. But coming up next, we have June Allison from the Elemental News Network to give us an update. So the sexy news reporter June Allison is with the ethereal being, conducting an interview. She says, "This is June Allison from the Elemental News Network. A week ago, a mysterious ring materialized. The ring is being called the Ancient Elemental Warground, or the Wargrounds for short. I am with the ethereal being who considers himself the guardian of this place. Ethereal being, please tell us about this place." And the ethereal being says, "This is a tomb of the 4 elemental lords who entrusted me to keep the world safe. The reason this arena suddenly appeared is to find the truth." And June Allison is looking really confused. What is the truth? That's what I'm here to find out. And the ethereal being continues, "AEW is an arena where the most powerful in the world gather. Who would use their power for good, and who would use it for evil? Who seeks even greater power, and who wishes to transcend human limits?" And June Allison is even more confused now. I don't understand. And the ground starts shaking. And the ethereal being, he's addressing June. He's like, June Allison, if you wish to know the truth, come with me. You will soon witness history." So the Pink Mask defeats Blue Dragon in a wrestling match. Looking at the scores, it's promising. Pink Mask is looking pretty good. So Sam Titus is running around. It's raining. He has blood on his hands. He has blood all over his body. He's wounded. And he stumbles into some ruins, like the ruins of AEW. And he's gasping for breath. He's like, "Sam, what have you gotten yourself into?" And then we see a flashback sequence. And he's breaking out of a jail cell. There are just dead guards on the floor, all bloodied. And he has their blood on his hands. And he escapes into a forest area. He's being chased by police. He's getting shot. He has like 8 million bullets all over his body. And he murders all of the policemen with all these bullets in his body. And then he runs away as he hears sirens and like more police is chasing him. So back to the present, he's gasping, he's in the ruins, taking shelter, and the evil greed man shows up. And he says, well, what do we have here?" And Sam Titus is like, police coming, don't tell, or else." And he goes into hiding. And evil greed man is just standing there. So a bunch of policemen come up to the ruins, and they see evil greed man, and they're asking him, we're looking for an ex-convict. He's wearing a red mask. Have you seen him? If you've seen him, please tell us where he is." And the evil greed man says, "So what if I have seen him? What will you do about it?" And he takes out a crystal, and the crystal starts shining brightly. The screen blacks out, and all of the policemen scream as the screen blacks out. So we see Andy, Atlas, and Jack Marvel. They're in the locker room. They're in the back. And Andy he looks a little bit unsure of himself. And he's like, Are you sure about this?" And Jack is like, "Hey, come on, buddy. Don't be doubting yourself now. Remember why we got into this. We got into wrestling to prove that we are the strongest. The two of us, champions." And Andy's like, but this is crazy." Jack's laughing. He's like, yeah, I know. It's weird, and it's unknown. But you know me, I never let the unknown stop me from achieving my goals. And then there's a flashback sequence where Andy and Jack, they're sparring. they're wrestling each other, and Andy comments, Jack, you've always been really physically impressive. I'm having trouble keeping up. And Jack encourages Andy, like, I've always seen you as an equal. You're the reason I have to work this hard. You're the reason I have to kind of like be the best version of myself. And as they're talking, they see an explosion in the background, like really far away. And they're like, what was that? And then they run to investigate. So back to the present, Jack says that he won't ever forget that day. And he turned down a 6-figure contract from a national level company because he just couldn't miss his chance. That this is an opportunity beyond money or recognition or fame. Something magical, something amazing is about to happen in AEW. Right, so Jack Marvel and Andy Atlas win their tag team match against Eric LaMonica and Jason Patterson. And as expected, you put 4 jobbers in a tag team match, the ratings gonna be really bad. It, given how good the previous segment was, this is, it's whatever. Alright, 55. This is a little bit surprising. It bodes well for me. So the main event tonight, Alina and Frankie Flowwater, and they cross paths in the back, I guess in the hallway. And Frankie confronts Alina. He's like, I won't let you achieve what you want. And Alina is confused, like, what do you mean? Frankie says, I'm not sure, but I detect great evil within you. I cannot allow you to unleash your power onto the Wargrounds. And Alina is still confused, like, I don't know what you're talking about. But at the same time, I can't allow this opportunity to pass me. You won't be able to stop me, no matter what. And Frankie says, tread carefully. You will be swept away by the power of the ocean. If you truly are good, then turn back now. I cannot allow your evil presence here in the Wargrounds. Think carefully about your actions. And Frankie leaves. And Alina is saying, what is this, evil? This is strange, but also it isn't the first time. Mother, what is going on? Do no evil. That's what you've always told me, and that's what I've always abided by. Have I done anything wrong? Please answer me, Mother. So Jack Marvel and Andy Atlas, after their hard-fought victory, they're just outside the ruins and they're celebrating, like, yeah. And Andy comments about how Jack, he's always there, he always helps him out, but he promises that he's gonna get stronger, and that no matter what happens, they'll always be friends. He'll always have Jack's back. And off in the distance, they see smoke, and they go and investigate, and there's like a cave in the distance. There's smoke coming out of it, and Jack insists on exploring, and he just dashes off towards a cave. And Andy is just in the back, kind of like watching Jack's back, and as he's watching Jack run over to the cave, he says, I've always watched you from behind, as you pulled further and further ahead of me, but I have to. And then he starts running after Jack. Alright, so in the main event of tonight, Alina defeats Frankie Flowwater. The score, 31, a little bit disappointing, 38-32. Let's see, why? There must have been some sort of like a penalty. Let me just see. Oh, it's a whole storyline thing. Okay. Anyway, Alina defeats Frankie Flowwater. So after their intense match, Frankie Flowwater, he kind of like gets up, he gets back to his feet, And he tells Alina, not bad. It's weird. I was certain that I felt it. An evil presence beyond imagination housed within you, but fighting with you, sensing your spirit of battle. I know that you are not what you seem to be. I have no more doubts. While the terrifying evil presence is still within you, I know that your heart is strong, and when the time comes, when it really comes down to it, you will do the right thing. That you are good. Please accept my apology. And Alina says, Frankie, you're not so bad yourself. And before Frankie is able to leave the ring, the ethereal being comes in, and his masked guards surround the ring. Like, they seem ready to attack. And the ethereal being addresses Frankie. Frankie Flowwater, heir to the throne of the ocean. Do not doubt your senses. You are indeed standing in the presence of evil. You sense a terrifying evil within Alina, did you not? I sense the same thing, Master Flowwater. Please, stay away from this issue. I will resolve it, and I will remove this devil from the Wargrounds. And Frankie tells him, no, trust me, ethereal being. You are mistaken. And besides, did the 4 elemental lords not bestow upon you the ability to test it? To test the evil residing in her? And the ethereal being says, the trials of evil. Very well, Alina. If you wish to stay here, you must undergo the trials of evil. Do you or do you not accept? And Alina says, well, doesn't look like I have a choice. But there is one thing that I seek. The truth. Do you know the truth about And then ethereal being cuts her off and says, I am not here to negotiate. Do you accept where you undergo the trials of evil? Note that if you do not, I will take matters into my own hands. And Alina says, fine. Fine. I accept. But nothing can stop me at the truth. So with Alina accepting the trials of evil, what is in store for her? What exactly is the ethereal being going to put Alina through? Find out in episode 2 of AEW. Alright, so the show was actually pretty good, better than I had expected. It was carried by this one angle over here, 55. If I could do this regularly, that would be great. I kind of noticed that for a lot of my angles, I got hurt a lot by, what's it called? By the scripting. Like, cause the freestyle booker does not have scripting by default, which is different from 2016. Like in 2016, if you don't touch anything, your segments can be scripted. Whereas this game's the opposite. So I'm gonna need to script, at the very least, I need to script Andy and Jack. They're not where I want them to be. Even though this 31 segment was pretty good. The main event was hurt, but it was hurt because of the whole storyline thing. It's not associated to a storyline. So I need to use that advanced storyline feature a lot more. So with that said, I think Frankie did a good job. Praise for a great performance. I think Jack and Andy, even though their wrestling was kind of bad. No, not pointed out. Give them encouragement. Give them encouragement. This 31 segment was pretty good. I think next time, with a better main event, I probably won't get this 55. I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this show. Frankie Flowwater, you're pretty good. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Right. So that does it for episode 1 of AEW. Stay tuned for the next one.